Hi everyone, and thank you for tuning in to week 2 of the Espiria blog. Thank you to everyone who watched last week and who asked questions. I'm actually going to start this week off by answering the questions that you asked. The first one I got was to explain the circle, which is a very good question because I talked about how there were 3 branches of government in Azeroth: the crown, the church, and the circle. The crown and church are kind of self-explanatory. The crown is the monarchy in that kingdom. The church is the religious organization, but the circle is a conclave of wizards or mages, if you will. They're kind of the lawmakers of the land, very much like the judicial branch of the government that exists in that kingdom. They're not going to play a huge role in this novel, but they are a present force at work. But yeah, that is the circle. Another question I got from Rachel in Alton, Illinois was, when is this book going to be open to the public and able to buy? Very good question. Soon, really soon, I hope. But realistically, probably looking at summer of 2010 at the earliest. I still haven't finished it yet. I have to edit it and give it to the publisher and have them edit it again and print it and go through all of the wonderful long process that there is to publishing a novel. But I hope to have it out by the summer of 2010, available at stores everywhere. Well, we'll see. What I'm going to do is just I was going to read an excerpt of the prologue of the book. Last week I read the synopsis as to what the book was about. I was going to do a prologue, but I thought instead I would do an expose on kind of the style that I'm writing with this novel. It's very interesting. Whenever you're writing a novel, people always ask about your main character, and I love when they do, because in Espiria I deliberately tried to make sure that there was no main character. The story is told from the perspective of 6 different individuals, and the story is ever shifting between one perspective and another. And I did my best to make sure everyone got as much, I wanted to say screen time, but page time, if you will. But it's really, one of the themes of the novel is about how everyone is right in their own eyes. They all have like a different perspective of how they see things, and they all think they're right. Like the villain, for example, I actually will probably talk about him more in depth next week. But the scariest thing about the villain, aside from the fact that he is a villain, is that he thinks that he's doing the right thing. He's not like one of those comic book villains that's like mwahaha world domination or anything like that. He legitimately thinks that he's making the best decision for everyone involved, and that he's doing ultimately the right thing. Which, I don't know. I mean, I try not to be partial or have opinions one way or the other, because that kind of defeats the whole purpose of having the perspective theme. But he's a very misguided character. I'll say that. But yeah, I thank you for watching. I will answer more questions next week, and we'll talk about the villain next week.